Hi, this is Mike Cooch, founder and CEO of Kutenda. In this brief presentation, I'm going to show you the fastest way to get multiple highly ranked websites working to get your business more visibility and leads, without even having to pay to get the websites developed and ranked in the first place. Before I do that, let me show you the importance of a top-ranked website in our industry. First, let's take a look at the number of relevant searches happening in the US each month. As you can see here, I've got a list of keyword phrases and global monthly and local monthly searches that I just took right out of Google. The numbers are huge. Obviously, not every one of these terms applies exactly to your business necessarily, but as you can see, there's a huge number of searches being done every day for IT and computer-related search terms. And the numbers are pretty huge, which reflects the size and amount of money being spent in our industry. Now, let's take a look at how important it is to be highly ranked in Google if you want to capture these opportunities. This is a table showing the distribution of clicks based on the rank of a site in the Google search engine. So if you look at the top here, position number 1 actually gets 42.13% of all clicks. So obviously, if you're in position number 1, this is the organic rankings on a search engine result page in Google. You get 42% of all clicks. And as you can see after that, it drops off a click. Position number 2 gets 11.9% of clicks, 3, 8.5, and then if you look all the way down at 9 to 10, they're just under 3%. So the distribution of clicks really goes in a dramatic way towards the first few companies that show up on that search engine result page, and really, obviously, number 1 gets the huge volume of clicks. When you consider that the typical MSP customer is probably worth between $500 and $5,000 a month in revenue, and some much more, it doesn't take a genius to figure out how valuable it is to be well ranked for your target keywords. But the reality is that only about 10 companies can show up on page 1 of the search results for any given term. So if you're going to compete for the terms IT services or IT support on a national level, you're going to face very stiff competition. However, if you target keywords on a local level, such as IT support Denver, you have a much better chance of success. The smartest companies in every local industry are making sure that they have websites on these types of local phrases so they show up frequently. Let me give you one more reason why this is so important. I'm about to show you some data that I'll bet you've never seen before. I've been marketing on the web for a long time, and I have a lot of data about what works and what doesn't in this industry. Getting a bunch of visitors to a site is important, but what really counts is that they decide to reach out and contact you, known as a conversion. Let me show you the conversion data from traffic in this industry. Now, as you can see here, I've essentially put together a table of conversion data for a lot of search terms. Now, what I want you to notice first is that the search terms that I'm showing you are not localized. These are just general terms. So IT service providers, IT service contracts. This isn't Denver IT service providers or Denver IT service contracts. So that's what I mean by it's not localized. Now, if you go further over to the right to the click-through rates, or CTR here, you'll see that this is the percentage of people who searched, saw an ad for this search term, and then decided to click through. So the click-through rates vary, a pretty good range across these different terms. And then taking a look at the average cost per click, you're paying, in most cases, over $4 per click just to have somebody click on that ad. And then look at the conversion data here. So out of 110 clicks, this converted one time. Out of 91 clicks, one time. Out of 121 clicks, 2 times. So you can see that the cost per conversion, so again, these are actual conversions, are people that actually decided to reach out and contact us, provided us their information so that we could get in touch with them. The cost per conversion, $461, $346, $323. So, going all the way down here, even $84. Now, that effectively is the cost of getting a lead in this industry. And you can see that over this entire table, 1 to 2% conversion rates and $150 to $250 per lead on average. It's very important for people to know that in this industry, paying $250 per lead or more is not unusual, and in fact, it's a perfectly fine way to build a business. You can build a great business in this industry paying $250 per lead on average. The value of clients in this industry are high enough that it's still okay to do so, and you can still make a good living. But what I want to show you here, which is really amazing. So now I've given you a new table. These are all localized search terms. So if you look over here, you'll see information technology support companies in Kern County. I don't even know where that's at, but Atlanta, Maryland, Dallas, Arizona, Chicago, New Jersey, Cedar Park, Texas, Oregon, San Diego. Now, take a look at the data for these search terms. Now, obviously, the number of searches and the number of clicks that you're going to get are going to be less because far fewer people are going to type in this exact search phrase. This is a very long, specific search phrase. But look at the data here of the people who clicked on the ad, the impressions, the click-through rate was 100%, 50%, 100%, 100%, 100%, compared to our previous data that we looked at. Again, you'll see click-through rates that are down in the single digits or low teens. Here we're in the 50s and hundreds. Now, average cost per click, total cost. What's important here, you'll see here that the average cost per click was actually not very different than the cost per click of the previous search terms. However, look at the conversions. Here was 1 click, 1 conversion. 1 click, 1 conversion. Conversion rate of 100% on these localized terms. When people search for IT service providers locally, they tend to convert on what they find. So look at my cost per conversion here. $3.40, $4.69, $3.72. We have 100% conversion rates and $3 to $6 per lead on average. Again, compared up here to $150 to $250 per lead on average. This is incredible data and should show you how important it is to make sure that you have local sites that show up for those local search terms and have as many of them as possible for your business. So you want to get as many of those local searches as possible. The business that can attract customers more cheaply than the competition wins every time. But what a pain in the neck. Who has time and knowledge to build out and manage all of those sites? Well, Kutenda does. So here's what we've done. We've built websites on nearly 1,000 local IT-related domains for markets around the United States. And we've done the work to get them ranked in Google. And now we're making them available to you. So how much would this cost if you were to do it yourself? Let's look at everything that goes into getting a top-ranked site. First, you have to purchase a domain. Depending on what domain you're going for, you can get those very cheap, say $9, or depending on if somebody's already bought it and is selling it in the marketplace, it's very common to see just any decent domain now being sold for $1,000 or $1,500 or more. And it makes good sense. These domains are very valuable and people know it. To host it, maybe $5 a month. Design a website, well, of course, that can cost you anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 or more, depending on what you get done. To host that, say $9 a month. To get a call tracking number to really track all of the leads that you're getting from that site, $15 a month or so. And important, to do SEO to get it and keep it ranked, you're looking at $500 a month or more if you hire a service provider. So all in, you could easily spend $10,000 or more to get a good site ranked. All of this would cost you thousands of dollars, not to mention the time that could be spent taking care of clients. And that's perhaps the most expensive part of trying to do that yourself. But we've created a better way. Kutenda will rent you our local websites so you can increase your local visibility without having to do any of the heavy lifting yourself. So how much is this going to cost you? Well, as I said before, to purchase a domain, host it, design a website, host that, get a call tracking number, and do SEO, you could easily spend $10,000 or more per site. But Kutenda's Rent a Website service starts at just $97 per month. What you get for that service, you get a premium local domain that we've already purchased and we have it hosted, a pre-built website, opt-in content to attract people to convert once they've made it to your site, hosting, call tracking, and these sites are already ranked in Google. We've already done the work to get them in the search engines. This is a ridiculous deal. Just think, a few years ago, businesses were paying thousands of dollars each month just to be in the yellow pages. Now, like I said, we only have roughly 1,000 sites for the entire country. Once they are gone, so is your opportunity to have one. We're offering them to Kutenda partners first, but we'll make them available to the broader market if we don't sell them quickly. If you'd like more information about the service and what sites are available in your market, go to sites.businessitdirectory.com. That's sites.businessitdirectory.com, or just contact us at sales@kutenda.com, and one of our representatives would be happy to help you and show you through the site here. Again, we only have roughly 1,000 sites for the entire country, and once they're gone, they're gone. Now, 1,000 may seem like a lot to you, but when you break it down by the top 250 markets in the United States, that's only 4 domains per market. That's not a lot, so don't delay and miss the opportunity to get the cheapest visibility you'll find for your business in your market. Again, you can get information at sites.businessitdirectory.com or sales@kutenda.com. We look forward to hearing from you.